Hello everybody, this is Brett Lonsdale from Lightning Tools and welcome to this afternoon, this afternoon here at least in the UK, this morning if you're in the US. So welcome to the session on Social Squared, and what we're going to be looking at is building discussion forums in SharePoint with Social Squared. So it doesn't matter what version of SharePoint you're using, Social Squared is available for all versions of SharePoint on premises from 2007 onwards at least. Hopefully nobody's still using 2003. If you do, then we also have a migration tool. So yeah, if you're using SharePoint Foundation in 2007 or 2010, 2013, 2016, or also SharePoint Online, Social Squared will benefit for you, or will be a benefit for you, and you'll be able to have a look at both of those products today in both SharePoint Online and also on-prem. So first of all, I'm going to introduce Lightning Tools a little bit to you and myself, and then we're going to jump straight into Social Squared and looking at why your business may use Social Squared first of all, and the rest of the session will be all demonstration. So we'll be looking at building new forum groups and new forums inside Social Squared, and how to use the product. So first of all, welcome to Lightning Tools. Lightning Tools is a SharePoint products company, or an ISV if you like. We've been around for 10 years now, and we started off around the area of business connectivity. So back in the days or early days of SharePoint 2007, we launched a product called BDC MetaMan that helped connect to external data sources for business. For the business data catalog, and that grew into the product that it is today, working with SharePoint Online and also SharePoint on-prem 2016 as well. Discussion forums has been something that we've also been into, and that's obviously what today is all about. So we started off with a product called Storm Forums, and we've had instant messaging tools as well for SharePoint, and today both of those tools have been merged into what we now call Social Squared. We've also got permissions management, so a great permissions management tool called DeliverPoint. It works for site owners and site collection admins and so on, so they can manage permissions from within inside the SharePoint UI. And we've also got content aggregation as well, so rolling up across different site collections and some data visualization tools that work with SharePoint lists, external data sources, and also BCS, so you can build great looking dashboards with data view web parts, and also build charts and so on using our SharePoint chart web part. So that's a bit of an introduction to Lightning Tools. I founded Lightning Tools, or co-founded Lightning Tools, about 10 years ago. Prior to that, I was a instructor. I ran a company called Combined Knowledge, which is still going today. It's a SharePoint training company based here in the UK, and they're partnered with Mindsharp over in the US. So they provide all sorts of SharePoint development, SharePoint end user training, IT pro training, and there's also a Support Plus tool as well, which you can use inside your SharePoint Online environment and so on. So besides that, I like to do a lot of things in the community. So we host what's known as the SharePoint Pod Show. We also run an event over here called the UK Community Day. If you are in the UK, then there will be one happening on the 20th of October, which is the next one, which is going to be a Power BI day. But we've done developer days and IT pro days and user days and things like that, and they run about every 2 to 3 months somewhere in the UK, not always the same place. So keep a lookout on ukcommunityday.com. Feel free to follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is @LightningTools, or if you're a Facebook user, then you'll find us under Lightning Tools as well, and also on LinkedIn. But if you have any questions during the webinar, and you're going to be too shy to ask them at the end of the session, feel free to post your question on Twitter. Use the @LightningTools handle, and either myself or one of my colleagues will be more than happy to respond to your question. Okay, so let's move on. Let's first of all discuss the agenda. So one of the things we're going to be looking at is why would you use discussion forums inside your business? And that's really technology independent, just not necessarily Social Squared and not necessarily SharePoint. Just why would you use a discussion forum inside your business? We look outside of the business, and there's all sorts of discussion forums that people use. It might be that you're a car fanatic, and you go onto a BMW forum or an Alfa Romeo forum, whatever it might be. Maybe you're into bodybuilding, and there's a forum for that. There's all sorts of forums out there on the internet where you can go and you can post questions. You can listen to people's answers. You can rate and vote their answers as well, so other people can benefit. And there's moderators and so on within there that make sure that those posts are appropriate and posted in the right forum and that sort of thing. So what we're going to be looking at is how they might help your business rather than being a community thing outside of work. How could we actually use that inside your business to benefit what you do as an organization? We're then going to move on specifically looking at Social Squared and its features and how it can help you. And then the rest is pretty much going to be demonstration, like I said. So we'll look at jumping into SharePoint, we'll build some forum groups, build some forums, have a look at all of the different end user features and also some of the configuration of Social Squared as well. So setting up the reply by email features and setting some of the properties like the voting properties and gamification properties and things like that. So all of those we'll be exploring, and we'll also be talking about customizing Social Squared towards the end of the session before opening up for a Q&A. So that's what to expect. The first part, just a bunch of slides. The slides won't take long, and then we'll jump straight into the live demonstration. So first of all, let's just discuss why we would use forums inside your business. So it doesn't really matter how big your business is. First of all, you'll tend to find that there's perhaps some pretty valuable ideas that are trapped either in people's minds or also trapped between people as well. So if somebody has a great idea inside their organization, one of the things that they might do is email their superior or email a colleague or something like that. And whoever they emailed, they might not be particularly a fan of the idea, and therefore your idea goes absolutely nowhere. So one of the things that the discussion forums provide is a tool in which you can, if you like, air your ideas. You can put it out there to the masses, to everybody inside the organization, and other people can provide feedback. They might think it's a great idea. They might shoot you down in stone and vote it down and think it's a rubbish idea, whatever. Either way, you can contribute more to the business by expressing your ideas on maybe products that your company produces or how you feel that you could help the company grow or something along those lines. And that way you're helping all of the employees feel valued as well inside the organization, especially those that work remotely. Brainstorming is also quite useful. So talking about remote workers, we're actually an organization where we've got people employed in the UK, in the United States, and elsewhere in Europe as well. And without something like Social Squared, it's really difficult to communicate with those people rather than just using email. There's more of a sort of fun-filled factor if you're using some form, and not necessarily Social Squared. This could be any platform, but some form of discussion forum where you can, express your ideas, collect feedback on it, and in a more casual way than perhaps email, you can enter discussions with people remotely and get to know them as well, which is another benefit. And it doesn't really matter what time zone those other people are in either. They can also contribute, and they're feeling less isolated by being a remote worker. So brainstorming ideas is ideal for a discussion forum. You can put your idea out there, as we've already mentioned, and then your idea might grow. Somebody may have had a similar idea, and they could build on it. So that allows other people to contribute, to reply to your post. One of the things that happens nearly every day inside the office is the water cooler discussions. So casual discussions. It doesn't matter if you go down to the pub like we do in England, whatever, if you take the staff out down to the pub or out for lunch, or if you happen to be just in the office corridor or something like that, quite often you're going to enter into a conversation, and it could be a loose, casual conversation that soon turns into discussing work. And that way, again, it becomes more of a sort of team effort and getting to know your co-workers and so on. Now, another reason for using it is employees can help each other. So Quite often, who are you going to ask if you get stuck? It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're a developer, you're writing some code, you might get stuck on something, or maybe you're trying to use Microsoft Excel or something like that to build a spreadsheet, and you run into some issues. 9 times out of 10, if you work in an office, you can ask the person next to you or ask somebody else. But again, if you're a remote worker, you're not going to have that luxury, and therefore you might email somebody. You might contact the tech support desk or something like that, and they will respond to you. But the issue with that is nobody else is benefiting from your question or the answer provided. So by using something like a discussion forum, you can post that question out there, and other people might have been experiencing the same issue, and they're going to benefit from also knowing the answer. So Social Squared or any discussion forum can become a knowledge base of information as well. So something that you can search for in the future. Again, you might elaborate on other questions that you've come across, but more importantly, you can progress with your work because you've been able to post a question and receive answers. The next thing is overflowing inboxes. So this is something that probably almost everybody experiences today is unwanted emails. No doubt you got an unwanted email from us at some point. Yeah, we all try and communicate from using email all of the time. And some of those emails are really valuable, but you don't get the time to really study every single email. And it could have been quite an important company announcement. It could be a company announcement that you want to know, but you've overlooked it and it's disappeared to the bottom of your inbox somewhere. So one of the things about Social Squared is it's something that you, or a discussion forum, is you can go and visit that forum at a time that is convenient to you. And it's not going to clog your inbox up with unwanted announcements or anything like that. You can just simply go and visit the site and see relevant content and be able to navigate to that relevant content. And just on a sort of loose topic, we all like gamification, so you can be the superhero within the office. So everybody has a superhero in the office somewhere. So one of the things that nearly all discussion forums allow you to do is earn badges and so on, and become the hero of the month or whatever by answering people's questions and being able to help people along inside the organization. So that's just a few ideas on how a discussion forum can help inside a company. So what about Social Squared? Well, one of the things a lot of our customers like about Social Squared is the familiar look and feel. So there are other tools like Yammer and so on that have a different format. And if you compare them feature for feature, you're going to be ticking all the same boxes. Both of them have the ability to create posts. You can reply to posts, you can create attachments, you can like things, you can search. You can search in Yammer. You can also delete posts, you can moderate them. It's all the same features. But what's different is the structure of this. So the structure is something that people are used to when they go out and visit the internet in their own time. So again, if they're on a bodybuilding site like bodybuilding.com, or if they go onto a cake baking site, whatever it might be, you will find the same kind of layout. And each of the types of posts are categorized into different forum groups. So you can create a forum group. Let's just talk about SharePoint for a moment, since that's probably something we all have in common. So in SharePoint, we might have a tech support forum group. And under that tech support forum group, there's some different forums, such as SharePoint lists. We could have SharePoint web parts, we could have code development, we could have the content query web part, whatever it might be. They could all be different forums within that SharePoint tech support forum group, and within there people can post their questions and other people can respond to them. You might have under the tech support forum group a number of different technologies as the forum. So you might have Word and Excel and Outlook and Office 365 and so on, all as different forums. And again, people can post questions and receive answers inside those forums. So that would be the tech support group. And then you could also have other forum groups as well that are relevant to other departments inside your business. Now, another thing that's likable about Social Squared is Social Squared uses a SQL database repository for all of the forum posts. And first of all, that provides great performance. You're not going to hit any SharePoint list view limitations like you do with quite a lot of products. If you just bear in mind, for example, a view inside a list, it's recommended not to really go beyond the 5,000 items in a view. Well, if you're using a list as a repository and you create some posts and you're receiving replies to those posts and you've got 10,000 users inside your organization, you're soon going to be hitting the limits of those SharePoint lists. So with a SQL database, we can provide great performance as well behind our product. Now, what that allows us also to do, since it's not SharePoint content related, we can take these social squared web parts, put them on different pages inside your SharePoint intranet, and you can decide which forum groups you want to display on each page. And sometimes you might have a forum group that is relevant to more than one team site. So let's just take, for example, you have a forum group to discuss new business that your organization has won. You might decide that you're going to show that inside the sales team site. You might also want to show it inside the marketing team site. And hey, why not also show it on the homepage of the intranet as well and make it read-only to everybody so they can all see what sales have come into the organization and so on. So that's the kind of thing that you can do. You can show and hide the different forum groups in different areas of SharePoint. And that means there's not a single place that you have to go to just simply to be able to post a question. You can post it from the team site that you work in every day, and it becomes part of the team site that you're working within. So some of the features that Social Squared has, and we're going to have a look at these in just a moment. So you have that forum group and forum structure, as I mentioned, that is familiar. There's also security as well. So as well as being able to show and hide different forum groups in different sites or on different pages, you can also apply security to them as well. So if there is a particular forum group that you do want to make read-only, you can go ahead and make it read-only for certain groups of people. Also, you can specify who the moderators are, who's allowed to post. You can set up anonymous posters and things like that. You can actually allow anonymous users. So you could post anonymously. So if you had a post that you created, such as what do you think of your boss, and you wanted to receive honest answers, then you could allow the users to post anonymously, even though they are authenticated users. But likewise, if you want to host this on a public-facing site, you could actually allow anonymous users as well. So there's also moderation. So moderation allows you to approve or decline posts that have been created. Moderators can also move posts between forums if they're posted in the wrong one and that kind of idea. You get the ability to vote up and down posts. You can rate them, you can like them. There's featured posts if you want them to stand out. There's notifications as well. So if somebody has liked your post that you created or something like that, then it's going to notify you. And we also have search, of course, and gamification. So through the gamification, we can see who the biggest user of Social Squared was. We can run all sorts of reports to see what's the most popular forum and that kind of thing. You can earn badges based on the number of posts that you create, but also the number of posts that you mark as answered, how many things you liked, how many things you voted for, that kind of idea. Now, there's also the ability to subscribe to these forums, and that way you're going to get an email notification if somebody does reply to your post or creates a new post, and you can simply reply via email to that post as well. So that in turn will create the post for you. You don't have to log into SharePoint to do it. You can simply reply to the email. And we're also releasing a mobile app, which is currently on my phone. It's already in the iOS App Store. It's soon to get into the Android Store, whatever they call that. And there's a Windows Phone app as well. So you'll be able to, if you use Social Squared, also add those apps to your user's phone, so they can not only post and reply to posts, but they could also do things like the rating and the voting, searching, that kind of thing from the app. The reporting side of it, we can see how popular the posts are and that kind of idea. Again, I mentioned this at the very start, but another feature is the fact that you can use it in different places. So on SharePoint on-prem and also SharePoint Online if you are an Office 365 user. So we've mentioned all of that. Let's dive in and have a look at the product. We're just going to go to a SharePoint 2013 page here that has been built, and it's got a number of the different Social Squared web parts already on the page. So one of the things you'll see is the main web part itself. This is the social squared web part. What I'm going to do is just hide the left-hand navigator just so we see more of that. So the social squared web part, you can see there's two different forum groups here. We've got the food forum group and we've got the drink forum group. Those of you in the UK, if you've not had your lunch yet, you will feel hungry very, very shortly, and likewise in the US, if you've not had your breakfast, then you'll soon be wanting your lunch. So under the food category, we've got some meat, vegetables, fruit, and crisps. These are all our forums. And if we go into one of the forums, we can basically see all of the different topics that users have created within inside those forums. And there's summary information all the way along. So using the breadcrumb trail, we can navigate back. You'll see some summary information inside the, if you like, the root page for Social Squared. So I can see how many topics there are, how many posts, which includes all the replies to the topics. And we can also see what the latest post was, who made it, and when they made it. And so either we can navigate directly to that, or we can also just navigate to the actual forum. So again, this could be a tech support forum group, and we're navigating into the SharePoint forum, if that makes sense. So in there, we've got the different topics, and again, some great summary information. We can see how many views, how many replies there have been, who the latest post was from, and then also some average information as well. So we can see the average rating. We can see if it's been marked as answered. So if you're somebody that wants to be that office superhero that goes through and answers all the questions, you can see which ones have already been marked as answered. In other words, they're already satisfied with the answer that they've been provided. And you've also got the make sticky. So we can make a topic sticky, and that means it's going to remain at the top of the forum as well. So we'll navigate into one of these. So we'll go to the New Zealand lamb. So we can see a post here, the actual post itself, along with an image. And if we just go through and edit that for a moment, you'll see some of the rich text controls that you get when you're editing a post or when you're creating a post. So we can insert things like emotion icons. We can insert embedded media such as a YouTube video or something along those lines. And even just down to the small things like image formatting. We can go through, a lot of the times you're trying to fix this sort of stuff in HTML, but if we want to do things like set the word wrap or also the horizontal spacing, you can see that that's been set to 15. We could decrease that down to 10 or something like that if we want to. And you can do all of that image formatting right there. And also copy and paste images and so on directly into this rich text format window. There's also the ability to tag the posts, and you can use Social Squared in two modes here. So when you're creating a post, you can tag it with your own tags that you've built up inside the Social Squared database, or you can also use the managed metadata store as well. So the reason why there's two modes is, don't forget, Social Squared can be used for SharePoint Foundations, and therefore you wouldn't have the managed metadata service. But if you are using Enterprise and you've got the managed metadata, we can work with your local term set or the Enterprise term set as well. So you can look up some terms from there. And that works hand in hand with this tag cloud web part down in the right hand corner, which allows the users to navigate quickly to the content that has been tagged. Now you can attach files, but you don't have to. I've got both options switched on here. I can attach a file which gets uploaded to the database as a blob, or we can browse out to a document library. So this option I prefer. So if we can educate users to put documents in document libraries first, and then you can simply go through, select what it is you want to attach or link to, and that then becomes linked to as part of the post. That way you're not missing out on all the document management features that you get with the document library. So things like the versioning, the ability to check in, check out, and of course you can search on that content, whereas if it's just attached to the post as a blob, then you can't. So you can actually turn attached files off and force people to browse to a document if you want to. Okay, so we modified that post, and I was able to modify that because I'm basically the original poster, but I'm also logged in here as the system account. I can reply or reply with a quote as well. So, so if we just simply go through and reply, then we're going to get a blank window here. So I can say this is my reply, and I like lamb. Okay, and we can make that post. Okay, so there's my post. But one of the things I can do is also reply with a quote, and that will embed the message that I'm responding to. So that makes it a lot more readable to the end user that's just reading this post, so they can tell whether I was replying to the reply or whether I was also replying to the original post. So we can make that change, and again, also go ahead and post that. So it becomes a lot more readable as to, like I say, who I was responding to. Now I can't vote up and down my own comments, but we'll go and have a look at voting in a moment. We've got the thumbs up and the thumbs down there. We can also do a few things down here, such as mark things as featured. So if we want a post to stand out, we can basically mark it as featured. So that gets highlighted. And right at the very top here, you can simply filter out all the non-featured posts. So if we want to see anything that is featured, then we can just click onto that, or that alternates back to all posts again. We can also rate the post. So I've already given that one 4 out of 5 stars. We can mark it as the answer as well. So if we did use this as a technical forum, I could post a question in here. If somebody replied to it, it worked, I could say, yeah, that was the answer. And that benefits other people that are reading the thread as well. They know that that was the answer. That's the one that you need to go and do in order to solve the problem. There's also the ability to report abuse. So this will go to the moderator. So you can set a moderator at forum group and forum level, and that moderator will receive an email to say that abuse has been reported. And that moderator has the power to either go through and delete the post, or they can come in and modify it if they want to. So if there's just an offending word in there, then they can remove that offending word, and so on. But yeah, there is the ability to report abuse there. We also interact with the SharePoint features as well. So if we want to post this on my newsfeed, maybe I come across something that I found funny or found useful or whatever, I can post it on my newsfeed, and that way anybody looking at my newsfeed will be able to see that content as well. And the same thing applies to when you follow other users. So I can see who's following me, but I also have the ability to follow other users. I basically click on their name and then click follow, and that way anything that they post I will also see on my newsfeed, and so on. There's the ability to like, so we can click like if we like something, and then they will know that we like it, and so on. So again, think of those isolated users working from home. It'd be great to give them that sort of feedback. And then just one other thing that I wanted to mention from an end user point of view is the ability to subscribe users, and we can subscribe users at different levels. We can subscribe them at forum group level, at forum level, or at post level. So if I think that other people will find this useful, I can click onto subscribe users and basically specify who I want to subscribe to this post. I can also subscribe myself as well, and so on. So let's pop Bill in here. Sorry, it wasn't Bill, it was Bob. So we'll subscribe Bob. Adam is a subscriber, and Bob is now going to receive email notifications should anything get posted in here. And again, he could reply to the email if he so chooses. And then along the top, we've got the ability to unsubscribe if you are subscribed. Moderators and administrators can delete the topic, as can the person who created it. We can move the topic. So as a moderator, if this was created in the wrong place, then we basically click onto move topic, and we can choose where we want to move that topic to, and so on. So it's a very simple case of just clicking the forum that we want to move it to, and you can lock it as well. So if we've created a post, we're receiving too many answers, it's getting distracting for people, then we could go ahead and lock it, and they can't post there anymore. Okay, so this is some of the features of Social Squared. Like I say, it's a very familiar user interface. Users tend to be comfortable with it. You've got the search as well, as we talked about. So if I want to see if there's anything on stake in there, then we can go ahead and look for the word stake. We can refine the search results if we want to as well, and navigate to directly to the content. Likewise, we could also just simply use the tag cloud here. So if we want to look for anything in there using the tag cloud web part, we can go through and see that content. Okay, so that's really Social Squared from an end user point of view. Let's go in and take a look at some of the configuration. So by going to the site settings for the site that contains Social Squared, we've got these two different categories of settings here. We've got the Social Squared Forum category, and we've also got the Social Squared Reporting category. So under the Social Squared Forum category, this is where we can go through and create new forum groups. So if we want to have a new forum group, maybe it is a tech support forum group that we want to establish, we can go through and basically click on to add forum group. So we can give it a name. So let's call it technical support, and we'll add that. So there's the forum group, and then we can click on to view forums and start adding some forums to that forum group. So we can click on to add forum here, and I'll call this the Office 365 forum. So any questions on SharePoint Online or Exchange Online, etc., you can post here. So that becomes our new forum, and we could go through and add another one, maybe for Microsoft Word. Okay, so we've got a couple of forums, and we're just going to concentrate on one of these. So first of all, we could manage the subscribers at this point. We can subscribe lots of users to this forum, but also we can click on to edit, and that allows us to set some properties for this particular forum. So we can specify the forum order where we want that forum to appear inside the forum group. We can do things like allow voting, which would be quite useful for a tech support forum. So if somebody creates a question and there's lots of different answers, people can vote up what they think is the relevant answer. If you want to force it to only allow upvotes, that's another ability that you have, so we can keep things on a positive note. You can turn off the allow attachments, as I mentioned, so we'll do that, and we'll force people to use the document library. There's notifying of the poster, so they will automatically be subscribed. You can allow the featured posts, and also we've got the security settings in here as well. So one of the things that we can do in Social Squared that you can't do in SharePoint actually is deny permissions. So we can actually deny permissions to a forum or a forum group if we want to. There's configuration for the phone app as well, and then we can force read permissions and moderators and administrators and so on. So all of that can be defined in there. So if we navigate back to Social Squared, let's navigate back to the main page. As I mentioned, we can turn on and turn off these forum groups within a page. So if we go to edit the Webpart properties, clicking on the top right, choosing Edit Webpart, any forum groups that we've created will appear here in the Webpart properties. So this isn't security, this is just masking things out. So we want to make this relevant. And if this was a technical support team site, then we don't really want to have a discussion about food and drink there. So we could literally just turn on the tech support forum group. So we'll select that one and scroll down. Let's click OK, and we'll save and close the page out. And you can see there we're just now seeing that tech support forum group. And you can do the same thing with the other web parts as well. So at the moment they're showing the most active users, but that's across the board. We could filter that out to just the tech support, and likewise with the most popular discussions and so on. So there we are, we've got the tech support forum group, and we've got 2 forums created, and we can go in there and start creating posts now. So the other options that you have, if we go back into the site settings, there are some global settings that go across the board to Social Squared. We won't go through every single one of them, but just to show you some of the important ones, we've got the ability, for example, to configure the reply via email. So this can be any SMTP account, POP account. It can be an Exchange account or Exchange Online account, whatever you want. And then there's a timer service that basically polls that inbox to look for new posts or replies to posts, and then it puts them into the relevant forum. We've also got terms and conditions, which is quite useful. So if you're working for a government organization or something like that, or you have a public facing site, you can have terms and conditions that users must agree to before they can begin using the software. And we've also got the user reputation scores at the bottom here as well. So we can set our own thresholds. So you can see I've got rookie, member, silver, gold, platinum, super platinum, and we could add that other one called the Office Superhero. And let's just set that as our range. So, and we could go through and choose a badge for it. So we could upload a superhero badge or something along those lines. So when they've scored enough points, that's the badge that will be shown against their profile, and they can feel very proud of themselves. So you can come in here and you can specify how many points people get for creating a new post, how many points they get for voting a post up, and how many points they get for marking something as answered. So people can soon start to accumulate these points, and that's how the gamification works. So some other settings in there also include the ability to customize the look and feel. So what I'm going to do is just navigate back to the main page again, and I'm just going to, so we've got some more content, switch back on the other forum groups. So we'll go into edit Webpart again, and let's stick on the food and the drink, and we can leave tech support on there as well. So almost every part of Social Squared can be customized. So what we're going to do here is just show you a customized version, and this is actually a skin that we're going to be releasing very, very soon. So you can go to the Path Manager here, and we basically have three settings. One is for the CSS, so I'm going to alter that for a different CSS file, and we've got another folder full of different images, and we've also got some user controls, ASCX files, so we can point to those. So using the ASCX files, you can completely change the layout. Images, of course, you can put your own icons in there and that sort of thing, and then CSS, you can completely change the styles, colors, and that sort of thing. If you want rounded edges, you can turn them on, and so on. So now when we go back to Social Squared, we're hitting the same site, and you can see that we've got a completely different look and feel to the web part. So we can see they're different colors. These colors get stronger based on the number of posts that there are. So you can see the weaker colors, or the weaker color green, is because there's not many posts inside that forum, so we can see the most popular forum based on the color, and likewise with the number of topics and so on. And that carries through to the forum itself. So in here we can also see the one with the most views stands out. If it's been marked as answered, it stands out, and so on. And another thing to point out is that this page is very responsive as well. So as we expand and collapse the window, if you've got people navigating directly to this using a mobile device, or maybe they're using an iPad or something like that, depending on the screen, it's going to adjust the layout. So you get a nice behavior as people navigate through it. But that is exactly the same web part, it's just simply a different skin to it. So you can go through and create your own skins as well if you want to, and make it fit into your scheme in SharePoint. Okay, so that's basically a quick tour of that. And if we go back into the site settings again, a few other bits and pieces that you'll see. You can control the timer jobs. You've got the connection string to the database if you want to change that, and you've also got the reporting as well here. So we can see a report such as the number of topics per forum. So we can actually go through and choose our forum group that we want to look at, and we can put in a date range in there, and click show chart, and we can see how many posts there have been over a period of time, and that sort of thing within there. So lots of different reports that you can run to see how the product is being used. Okay, so that's kind of covered a lot of ground in that short time frame. So just point out again that this is available for SharePoint on-premises, or all versions. It's available for SharePoint Online as well, so you'll be able to download that from SharePoint Online. So if you go to our website, and you'll find it on there. The SharePoint Online version uses a SQL Azure database. So rather than a SQL on-prem database, it's got a SQL Azure database. So that needs configuring, but there's full instructions on how to achieve that. And there's also the mobile device app as well, which will be launched with the next release of Social Squared, which is very, very imminent. So at that point, I'm going to open up for any questions that you might have. If you're not brave enough to ask a question on the forums, there's all our contact details. There's a QR code there as well. If you want to find out more about Social Squared, just scan that. That'll take you straight to the Social Squared page with a link to a free 14-day trial, so you can go ahead and download it and have a play around with the product in your own environment. But if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. You can email me on brett@lightningtools.com. Find us on Twitter as well, and Facebook as well. We'd really appreciate the feedback that you have, even if you don't have any questions. So at that point, I'll open up to any questions that you might have. You can raise your hand using the GoToWebinar software. Just click the raise your hand button, and if you want to ask a question, I'll unmute you. So make sure you've got your microphone ready to go. I'm not seeing any raised hands yet, so hopefully I've managed to address most things. No. Okay, so no raised hands. So once again, if you want to get in touch with us, feel free to email me. Contact phone numbers at the top there, or also tweet any questions that you might have as well. And you'll be able to find a lot more information on the product by going to lightningtools.com. All right, many thanks, everybody.